Alrighty, guys, welcome back to episode 276 of the Michael Lab Show. If you guys are currently watching on YouTube, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. If you guys are watching on Apple or Spotify, go ahead and leave it a rating. And if you're on Rumble, go ahead and like it. So today I want to start off the podcast. I'm going to be all over the place today. My parents just came to Roanoke for the weekend, so it was nice to have everybody there. I'm also going to get into, I'm just going to be all over the place today. I'm recording this podcast on Monday, so it's going to be uploaded to Tuesday. So I'm making a quick little change to the format of the way I do the podcast. The reason for that, obviously, as you can guess, is because I was recording Thursday and it wasn't uploading until Tuesday. So by the time I released the episode, the topics or the stuff I was talking about, very much was outdated. And because of that, it kind of affected what people were listening to at the time. So if I talked about something that happened on Tuesday and then I talked about it on Thursday, by the day that the podcast came out, nobody was listening anymore. So because of that, I went ahead and I'm just going to stick to this format. I'm just going to record Monday, edit, upload, and then Tuesday, I'm going to go ahead and put out the podcast. So hopefully I can stay up to date with actual news stories that's going on, and I'm not just rambling on about things that are 1 or 2 weeks behind. With that being said, I just want to tell everybody that I am going to start doing vlogs again. I know if you've been a subscriber of the channel long enough, you do know that I've done vlogs. It's kind of my pocket. It's what I enjoy doing the most on YouTube. I love doing the podcast. Don't get it twisted. Doing a podcast is the backbone of this YouTube channel. Before I ever had a podcast, I was a vlogger, right? Just like a little history of my time on YouTube. Before I got into podcasting, I did Call of Duty. Way back in the day, I was a freshman, probably about 10 years ago. I was uploading on a channel called SM Baseball 22. You can actually still find that YouTube channel if you want to watch me play Call of Duty videos. I don't know what I talk about. I don't know what I say. I honestly, for my own personal protection, I should probably go back and just delete all those videos so I don't say anything that's absolutely insane, because those were the days, 2012, 2013, those were the days where anything went down on YouTube. There was no worry of misinformation or disinformation, or you can't say this or you can't say that. YouTube was just a straight up renegade. People were saying whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted, and I was part of that. And I was doing montages, and I was doing commentaries was a big thing. And then I moved away from that. I made this channel, and then I was doing fitness stuff, right? I had a clothing company, so I was uploading vlogs, and I started doing eating challenge videos, like Big Macs, only eating Big Macs for 48 hours, only eating fruits for 48 hours, only eating vegetables for 72 hours. And then I was doing day in the lives. I was doing workout videos. I was just kind of all over the place. And when I was doing that, I think I was doing daily vlogs, not every day, but 2 or 3 episodes a week. When I was doing that, I was having the most fun. It was the most creative. It was fun because I could kind of create a storyline. And I think in the world of YouTube vlogs, storylines are the way you grow. And I know as a creator, that's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy doing the podcast. So basically what I'm trying to say here is I've been recording a few vlogs. I'm going to do challenges. I've been listening to a lot of MrBeast lately. I didn't realize how much of a savage MrBeast was. MrBeast is a YouTuber. I'm sure you know him. He has 100, or he's close to 100, or he already has 100 million subscribers on YouTube. And he does challenge videos, essentially, 2 days buried. I gave away an island. He did the Squid Games video. But he went, I don't know why he did it, but he went on a podcast circuit. If I had a hunch, I would think MrBeast is going to come out with a podcast. I'm not 100% sure, but he is essentially like the king of YouTube. I think the only person who has more subscribers than him is PewDiePie. But MrBeast is a genius when it comes to like YouTube analytics, search engine optimization. Just he went on a he started out on Rogan, right? Right, MrBeast went on Rogan about, I don't know, about 2 months ago, and then he kind of went on the down low, at least in terms of my world. Like, he didn't make an appearance on other podcasts for a long time, and then he popped up on like Flagrant with Andrew Schultz, and then he popped up on, I think, Full Send. Was it Full? Yeah, it was Full Send. And then I think those are the two places I heard him. And then I listened to him on Iced Coffee Hour, which is like a podcast about finance. And it really, listening to him very much like made me fall back in love with what I started YouTube for. And I didn't, it's not that I went away from it because I've done the podcast, but I think I just stopped doing vlogs because I got so focused on the podcast. And I'm here to tell you that that's going to change. I'm going to start doing a separate video. I'm going to try to do 2 a month. The first one that you're going to see is probably most likely going to be uploaded this week. I just have to edit it up. But it's going to be like a food eating, a full day of eating. I might be out of date here, but that's kind of what I used to do back in the day. I used to do like full day of eatings, arm workout, chest workout. Those days are kind of over, but you can still get a bunch of views from them. And to me, you get the most interaction. But the part that I love the most is setting up the storyline. It sounds dumb, but like getting the angles. Like, I don't. I've spent the last week trying to find my vlogging camera. I can't find my vlogging camera anywhere, which sucks. It was like an AX5000. It had like the flip screen. I've talked about it many times. I believe I've talked about it before, but it was a camera that me and my buddy, back freshman year of high school, one of my buddies, Connor, I don't want to say his last name because he probably doesn't want to be talked about on a podcast. But me and my buddy Connor, we weren't even like close friends, but we like kind of had mutual friends who worked out together, and we just started working out one day, and he watched Christian Guzman and I watched Christian Guzman too. And, we were into like the Gymshark world and like the Alpha Elite world, and we both wanted to do YouTube. So I remember this like it was yesterday. We met each other in the parking lot. Or actually, no, we met at the gym, Edgewater Fitness in Edgewater, Maryland, and we drove together. I think he got in my car. We drove up to Best Buy, and I think I was definitely working. I'm pretty sure I was working. I was like a busboy at a restaurant, and his family owns like a catering barbecue company. They go to like fairs and stuff like that, and they basically go anywhere where you can have a food truck. And I remember we sat in the car, we Googled like best vlogging cameras. And this was like 2012, 2013, 2014, or around a time where like there wasn't really vlogging cameras. There was video recorders, there was regular cameras for photography, but like the scene of vlogging was just weird. Like, people didn't do it. And because of that, we spent a long time trying to figure out what we needed, and we both like didn't have a lot of money. And I remember we sat in the parking lot and we had cash on us, and we counted how much cash we had, and I think it was like, I don't know, like $350, maybe a little bit more. And we walked in and we looked for the AX2000, and we found it. And I remember we went to the cash register to purchase it, not the one in the front, but like the ones in the middle of the store. And we both like ended up paying with like ones and 20s. And we walked out and we just started doing vlogs, right? We started recording ourselves in the gym. We would go to like Wendy's, Burger King, and we'd do like food reviews. We would do commentaries on our videos and stuff like that. And it was fun, right? We had like a little clothing company called Silence Fitness. I remember I went to Florida one time with my family, and we had like a mock-up of kind of what we wanted for like our logo. And we went ahead and it was just me, and I found like one of those clothing presses like in the middle of the mall. I went up to them. I was like, "Can I get like 3 of these?" And we went ahead and got Silence Fitness made. I came back, and it was exciting, right? Like, we were young. We were like 15, 14 years old, 16. Well, 16 because we had our license. And I don't know, it was a fun time in my life. But But that camera I've been trying to find, and I can't find it anywhere because I stopped vlogging then, and then I picked up vlogging again. I stopped, and then I actually was vlogging probably about a year ago. I was doing a bunch of videos, and that was fun, and it was a really good time, and I love doing it with Taylor. She, it's fun having her in the videos. But anyways, long story short, I got away from that, and like I said, I've been listening to MrBeast a lot, and he started talking about like how you can not hack the algorithm, but you can do things to YouTube to make your videos get a lot more views. And I remember, and when I was listening to that, I remembered like that's what I started YouTube for, was that I loved the clickbait. I loved the titles. I loved trying to get like a thumbnail that was very eye catching. I remember like trying to figure out like the best tags, like the best time to upload. Trying to build my audience overseas, also trying to build my audience locally, and then build my audience in California. And I just remember that game, and I loved playing that game. I love the analytics. And then when I discovered podcasting, I didn't really take those tools that I learned from YouTube, and I didn't translate them to podcasting. And I think because of that, what ended up happening is I kind of ran away from the vlogs and the eating challenges. But listening to MrBeast talk about them very much changed my way of thinking. I was like, what am I doing? I need to get back on it. I need to get back on vlogs. I need to get back on 5 to 10 minute videos. I need to get back on stuff that I enjoy doing. So that's what I've been doing. I've been vlogging again. I don't have my camera, so I've been using my iPhone. I'm going to go ahead and invest in a new camera here soon. Not right away, because I want to see how long I can go for. I want to see how my schedule looks, right? Everything's up in the air with Taylor and I. Not like a relationship, but in terms of like where we're going to live, the dog situation, my job situation, what city we're going to live in. Are we going to get a house? Are we going to stay in this apartment? Just like a lot of things are up in the air right now. So it's kind of, adding this to my plate is something that I think I don't want to go too deep into, because, it would be irresponsible. But it is a creative project that just me talking about it excites me, because I think I function the best whenever I have a project. Whenever I'm doing anything that's creative. I've talked about that many times on this podcast, but that's like my sweet spot. My sweet spot is being able to wake up and having something to work on, right? Like and I think that's like the key for me whenever I'm kind of getting in my head. I'm, not necessarily depressed, but like not totally function on like a level 10, and I'm functioning on like a level, 7 to 8 or 6 to 7 most time of the day. I think it's because I don't have a project. I'm losing passion, right? And you get caught up in like a cycle, and sometimes this cycle becomes comfortable, and I think that's definitely what has been happening to me. And I'm breaking that cycle by allowing my creative brain again to really encapsulate this YouTube vlogging world. So I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that I will be putting on vlogs again. I can't give you like a date. I'm planning to put out probably Fridays. I got to look at like the best time to upload to YouTube is, and then cross-check it with like the best time for me to upload for my audience is. Once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and try to push out 2 episodes a month, right? And then I'm going to continue with the shorts, and then I'm going to continue just kind of building YouTube. I think I'm fairly certain that YouTube Shorts is going to take over TikTok. MrBeast was talking about this, but everything he was saying is stuff that I've already kind of assumed. TikTok has a report came out today. Let me see if I can find an article. I think TikTok's growth has slowed down. Let me pull it up here real quick. TikTok, and then just go to the news article. Growth. Yeah. Okay, so this is from the Wall Street. So this is I'll pull up the one on. Yeah, so this is 3 days ago from the information, and this is about TikTok. And I've been saying this for a little bit, that I truly think that TikTok is going to hit a wall. I think this is just with any company, right? I forget the term of it, but in business school, in business, there's a term for, you have like companies, right? You have startups, you have growth companies, you have mature companies, and then you have companies on the decline. There's no there's no other type of company. I'm not speaking like sole proprietorship or like LLC. I'm talking like the stages of business. You have growth, or you have beginning. I think beginning would be considered, but you're always growing. So growth, maturity, and decline. TikTok has been on that growth hardcore, but the issue with the growth, you eventually slow down. Like you can't double your revenue every single month. It doesn't work out that way. So you hit a point where you become a mature company, not necessarily bad. Companies like, I don't know, like I think even Amazon's like a mature company. I think they're hitting that area when their growth, month after month, quarter after quarter has kind of simmered down a little bit. And I think they're trying to find like that mature spot. Maybe put in some dividends, give back to the stakeholders, and just be more consistent with their revenue instead of just trying to go for these huge growth areas. I mean, obviously they could buy companies like Rivian. They're hoping that that's a cash cow for them. But that's kind of the business cycle. You got growth, mature, and decline. And I think TikTok's been hitting that hard. And I think they're trying to find a place now to hit that maturity level. But the issue is when you have competitors like Google who own YouTube, and YouTube is, I mean, MrBeast, he just confirmed everything I was already thinking. YouTube is king, right? Google is, like, in my opinion, the most powerful company in the world, at least in terms of like America. I don't know like what the Google is in China. I don't know what like the Google is in the Middle East or India. But I know here Google runs everything, right? They run all the ads, right? The Google AdSense is incredibly strong. The ROI, the money that you put in, you can get benefits immediately. And I know YouTube is king. Like I know kids younger than me, like kids like 8, 9, 10, 12, all the way up to like 20, they spend their time on YouTube, right? YouTube and TikTok. And they, long form content, they go to YouTube, send me a link, or they just search things. I think like the second biggest search engine in the whole world is YouTube. First is Google. So like, I mean, you do the math there. They're owned by the same company. So TikTok for short-term content, YouTube for long-term content, and medium-length content. But what happens when YouTube develops YouTube Shorts, which they already have? Like they have YouTube Shorts. I upload a YouTube Short every single day for the podcast. They're going to come in with all the data they have, all the information they have on all the consumers, on all the producers, on all the creators, all the viewers, and they're going to create a product that just trumps TikTok. And I think it's happening. I don't know where I don't know where MrBeast got the information from, but I'm pretty sure I think I cross referenced, or I cross researched things he was saying with Google as I Googled it. The irony behind that is hilarious. And I think it's true. I think where TikTok really elevates their game is paid. Like their share is less. Like they give less to the creators, but you can get paid for TikTok. So like you can do a 10-second piece of content, and you can get paid for that. And YouTube's not that way. Right now on YouTube Shorts, you don't get paid. Like YouTube Shorts, you can't make money off of. You can make money because you can't place ads on it. You can place money on long form content. But he was saying that at the beginning of the year, YouTube Shorts is going to allow creators to make money off of their shorts. And I think that's where they're going to come in and stick it to TikTok, because that is an absolute game changer of a situation. Because I know, in my opinion, YouTube Shorts get much more views from me than TikTok, because here's what it is. And this is my opinion. TikTok, if you got early in TikTok, like I got in really early on TikTok, and then I kind of slowed down on it like an idiot. But TikTok at the beginning, just like Instagram at the beginning, just like all these companies at the beginning, they had the advantage of, if you found the platform, you had the advantage of being a first mover. So you have, 10,000 creators, and you have 10,000 viewers, let's just say. As time goes on, you're going to increase your number of viewers, but that increase of viewers is always going to be less than the content creators, right? Because not every viewer is a content creator. Most viewers are not content creators. Most viewers just watch, right? And that's why the early stages of a startup or social media platform, you can get a lot of growth. As time goes on, viewership goes up, the ratio goes up, content creators go up as well. So then there's less to choose from, right? There's much more supply, but there's also much more demand. So your TikTok video 2 years ago will get half the number of views because there's such a competitive field for you to get views. YouTube is very similar in that way, right? Like standard YouTube videos. There's a lot of creators now. When I first started YouTube, I got kicked out of 3 gyms because I recorded myself. I got kicked out of like 3 or 4 restaurants because I recorded my food. I recorded myself. I've been kicked out of like grocery stores and stuff like that. I've been yelled at by individuals because I was recording myself. Those days are gone. Everybody's a creator nowadays. Everybody's a content creator, even if you don't know you're a content creator. But the one thing that people haven't really started posting on yet, yes, there's a lot of people doing it, but for the amount of eyes on Google, on YouTube Shorts has just barely hit the surface. I think it's been out for about a year now. I've been using it hard for like the last 3 months. For me, it's a subscriber hack. Like if you want to get subscribers, quick subscribers on YouTube, go ahead and just post shorts and you will see your subscriber number go up like crazy. I've gotten like over 300 new subscribers just from YouTube Shorts. And it's probably going to end up being the whole podcast, but there's so many advantages to YouTube Shorts. One, they take 10 seconds, right? You barely need to do anything and your views are crazy. The supply is low. Demand is high because everybody has a Gmail account. Everybody has a YouTube account and there's this lag. People haven't caught up with it yet. And as TikTok slowly starts losing ground because YouTube Shorts starts picking up, you're gonna get more and more eyes. And if you're creating content right now, you are favoring the algorithm. YouTube wants to help you because you help YouTube. You use their platform. So all that content you have is just going to get more and more views. And there's many different ways you can look at this. MrBeast said a lot of different things. But the one thing that he said, which I totally agree with, is especially for podcasting, especially for long form conversations or long form talking like I do, just with myself in the closet, or even like long vlogs or anything that's like over 15 minutes, which I think, in my opinion, any content that's longer than 10 minutes is long form content. When I first started YouTube, it was 30 minutes plus. If a video was between 10 to 20 minutes, it was short. 20 to 30 was like a medium-sized video. Nowadays, it's like anything over 10 minutes is considered like a movie for like a 10-year-old. Like no 12-year-old is watching anything longer than 10 minutes. Unless it's like one of their TikTok stars giving like an interview or something like that. But even then, like there's just no interest in that. Obviously, there's still like a world of like Netflix and stuff like that. But if you can take clips that you don't get paid on right now until the new year. He was saying by the new year, you're going to start getting paid for shorts. That's amazing. What does that do? That draws in more creators. More creators, I'm telling you, man, it's going to be, and then as TikTok is struggling with growth, right? They're really trying to, I mean, they kind of have like that issue with like Vine. Like, is TikTok the next Vine? I don't know, because it hit hard. It's got a lot of viewers, but it needs to make money, right? It needs that ad revenue. And the issue with TikTok is, yes, it has eyes, but what does a business want? A business wants people to watch something longer than 3 seconds so they can at least put an ad up there, right? And if TikTok is only 4 seconds long, no one's going to get an ad. So what does that mean? They need longer content. And that's where they're struggling right now to really implement that side of TikTok. They're struggling implementing that longer form material. YouTube already has it. Like, they're going in backwards. They already have that long term or like that longer viewership. Like, that's what YouTube's known for. And if you have a podcast, you post up a podcast once a week, twice a week, you get yourself 7 clips, 10. I try to go between like 5 to 20 second clips. shorter the clip, obviously the more views you get, because he was saying things which is true. Like YouTube, there's two things that he says. He said there's two things that get your YouTube videos the maximum amount of views. One, click-through rate. So that's why you need a good thumbnail. He said a 10%, if you have a 10% click-through rate, you get you have 1,000 viewers, you lost 10,000 because the video got in front of 10,000 people. Only 10% of people clicked it. You probably could have gotten an extra 20,000 if you had a better thumbnail, if you had a brighter words, if you had better, key tags or keywords for Google, for YouTube. And then he also said average time retention, that's the hard part about podcasting. It's hard to keep a viewer. I mean, I listen to Rogan pretty much. I mean, every single episode he uploads, I listen to. And even with him, I don't listen to every single minute of every single podcast. I listen to probably 95% of it, which is really good for like a podcast, but that's going to be like the one part that's harder. But with the YouTube shorts, you can get people to tunnel to your long form content, which is your cash cow. So it's kind of just completely changed the way I'm looking at content creation right now. And I'm at the end of the day, like I'm kind of going all in on this because I'm struggling with my job search. Yeah, I make some money from YouTube, but I should be making much more off of YouTube. And I think I've kind of been, I forget the term, self-destructive or not self-critical, but like I self-handicap myself. I create like these like imaginary limits of what I can and can't do and what I should and shouldn't do and who I am and who I'm not. And like I've kind of casted myself, like I typecasted myself as like, hey man, I'm the podcaster. It's like, nah, dude, like I've been the vlogger before. I just love creating, right? And I need to just get back out there and just do what I do best, which is just putting out videos, dude. Like, back in school, man, I was such a loser, man. I really was. Like, I was cool. Like, I hung out with the cool kids, I guess. Like, I was, whatever. Like, I guess I was cool. But I was a kid that, like, on Monday morning, people were, like, laughing about my, commentary for Call of Duty that I put up on Saturday and Sunday. Or, like, nice shoes, bro, because they saw it in my vlog. Like, I've always been, like, just kind of in my own world. And I feel like I operate the best in my own world. But I've kind of given that up for some reason. And, as you obviously get older, there becomes more responsibilities. You got to pay rent. You got to pay electric. You got to do this. You got to do that. But you got to have fun. And I've taken my fun and I funneled it all into the podcast. I need to take some energy and put it in YouTube videos. So I'm just saying it. You guys are going to see vlogs again. And I know I have people on my channel who every time I upload a vlog, they're like, hey man, we're excited to see the vlogs again. And people see it. And I just need to get out there and start doing it again. And they're going to be better as time goes on. Like I said, they're not the best right now, but as time goes on, I'm going to see what's going on in YouTube. I don't really know like the trends too well. I look up trending videos. I go to like Google Trends and I try my hardest to keep up, but at the end of the day, I'm not the best with it. But I do what I do. I've always done what I've done. I've always recorded what I like. I've always talked about what I liked, and it's got me pretty far. We were 270 plus episodes, tens of thousands of downloads, if not hundreds of thousands of downloads. A podcast is, listened to in countries where they don't even speak English or like English is not the primary language. So, listen to states that I've never even been to. California is like my third biggest listenership. I've never even been to California. So it's like I have succeeded, but I really need to succeed and focus much more with like the analytics and what does YouTube want? And what YouTube wants is clips, or not clips, but they want shorter content with catchy titles, with clickbait. It's so funny when I first started doing vlogs and stuff, like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, specifically Logan Paul, people would bash them because of clickbait. Like it was like a thing. Like there was a period there where like if you did clickbait, like you were like the bad guy of YouTube because you were getting people to click your video, even if like the title was never even talked about in the in the specific vlog or challenge or whatever it was. But like that's the world that we've kind of grown into. Like I've been in social media since day one. Like I got an Instagram in 2012. I had a Twitter, I think like in 2010, 2012, and I've seen the whole evolution of it. And it's gone from like your titles are like, I went to Walmart on Saturday and I bought gloves, to like the most unexpected gift ever, or the most unexpected Walmart purchase ever, or I can't believe I bought this. And then it's just like a picture of like some, you at the cash register checking out with some stupid pair of like baseball mitts, stuff like that. And it's interesting that we live in a time now where the currency is views, the currency is eyeballs. And if you're doing anything to not achieve that, I think you're cheating yourself. And I have the shorts, I have the podcast, I have the funneling system shorts to the podcast. I need to get back to what I love the most, which is gaming, which I'm going to eventually get back into gaming. Right now I can't. I thought it was going to be this year. Obviously, the job I went through, Taylor's job went through, things, that's life, dude. Things switch up. But maybe one day, again, I'll be able to do the gaming, which is like my bread and butter. Like that's where I start. I wouldn't even know where to start. Like I don't even know if you need like a HP PVR, which is like a thing that you used to have to get for video games, because you had to record the screen on the TV, which I don't think you have to do anymore. I think now you can literally just pull up your gaming and you can record it straight onto YouTube. But yeah, that would be fun. That's something I do eventually want to get back into. I have a few things I want to talk about. Nothing crazy. Yesterday was Columbus Day. I got to say one thing about Columbus Day. People, a lot of people always get butthurt about like changing holidays, or like, maybe we shouldn't say Merry Christmas anymore. Maybe we should be Happy Holidays, or, what's wrong with this or what's wrong with that? Like, this shouldn't be offensive. Here's one thing I will say. Columbus Day is one of those holidays where I kind of go like, you know what? We should change it. They shouldn't be Columbus Day. 1492, this Spaniard comes over and just kills everybody, just hurts everybody, murders everybody. There's stories of him where he would like chop people's arms off and legs off and just watch them like dance around in the fire. Like if you're out there and you're protesting because we should keep Columbus Day, like no. It should be, what is it, I think like American Heritage Day or like National Heritage Day. Like that's one of the days where I'm just like, you know what, we should change it. Just like Merry Christmas. Like if Happy Holidays is fine. I kind of like Happy Holidays more. Like I'm not really Christian, so like Merry Christmas, is kind of weird to me, but I understand the passion that people have when it comes to stuff like that. But the Columbus Day one, not the best guy, not the best guy in the world. He was a bit of a troublemaker. Some would say he was definitely a troublemaker. What else? Or no, it's National Indigenous Peoples Day. That's what it is, and that's what I think it should stay, and that's what I think it should stay as. And I have no issue with it changing from Columbus Day to National Indigenous Day. What else? A few things that I kind of want to go over this weekend. Just like a few ideas that I had. The first one I just kind of want to touch on, I feel like I talk about in every single episode, is like the situation with like the economy right now and the markets and everything like that, and just kind of my situation. First of all, I've paused investing right now because we're kind of going into like this, like these next 6 months are going to be, in my personal life, stressful, right? Bunch of different moving parts. The biggest moving part is we're moving, I think, or we may not move, but most likely. So here, I'm going to add percentages to everything. The percentages of us moving, 85%, I would say. The percentages of us moving to a different city. 40%, maybe. The percentage of us moving in from an apartment to a rental house. 90%. So like there's a very high likelihood that we're moving out of this apartment to a house. Not buying a house, but like renting a house. And there's also a very high likelihood that we move outside of this area of Roanoke we're in, closer to Cave Spring, which is like a nicer part. And then there's a decent, less than 50% chance, but there's a possibility that we move to a different city, Richmond, closer to Alexandria. So that's a possibility as well. So that's the first thing. Second thing is a dog, right? We really want to get a dog. Taylor and I, we haven't had Riley. She passed away in May of 2021. So about 17 months ago. It's the longest I've ever been without a dog. It's brutal. It's torture. Dogs, to me, mean everything. I love dogs. They make me happy. I just miss holding a dog. I miss coming home to a dog. I miss talking to a dog. I miss playing with the dog. I miss feeding a dog. I miss the way I feel when I have a dog, right? They make you feel like there's more meaning to this world than just you. Sure, we're going to get a dog, but the dog that we're getting is not going to be a rescue. It's going to be a breed. We're going to get it from a breeder. And before everybody freaks out about that, like, I don't care. Like, screw off with that. I'm not, like, I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, I have adopted plenty of dogs. Every dog I've ever had has either been adopted or it's been taken off of a slaughterhouse. Like, it was going to get killed. Like, my family dog that my parents have, my sister have, Charlie, they were going to kill her. I think. Or was that Shayna? No, okay. Charlie was the first dog we ever got from a breeder. Before that, our previous two dogs were rescues. The first dog we had, Princess, was beaten and like tortured and like left under a bridge, if my memory is correct, which it could totally be wrong. Shayna was a mistake between two working canine dogs, between a Malinois and a German Shepherd. And because she was a mistake, they were going to put all of them down because working police dogs are not allowed to have puppies. And then Charlie was a runt of the litter, and then Riley was adopted from Roanoke SPCA. And Taylor and I, have gone back and forth with what type of dog we want. And we want to get a big dog, right? We want to get a big dog. It's just what we want, right? I've grown up with big dogs, German Shepherds, Huskies, Malinois, which aren't big, but like the most active dogs in the world. And she wants a big dog for protection. She's home all day by herself. She also just wants a big dog to like lay on her if she's like feeling anxious or anything. She also just likes big things. Me, her car, her personality. So she wants a big dog, and I want a big dog. I don't want a small dog. Riley was small. I loved Riley, but I want a big dog. But the issue with big dogs is they don't live that long. So we wanted to get a big dog that also lived for a long time, or longish time. And we were kind of looking. And one day I was just like, hey, what about this dog? I've seen it on TikTok. And I remember I listened to a podcast with Rogan and a gentleman they had on his podcast. It was a black dude. He was a comedian. He was hilarious. I forget his name, though. But anyways, he had these dogs. It's a Conning Corso. They're a mix between let me look it up. Conning Corso. What is it? They're brand new dog too. Like they haven't been around that long. They're 90 to 110 pounds. We're gonna get lifespan's about 9.33 for a female, so like 10 to 12 years. Ancestors. What is a Conning Corso? What is a Conning Corso? In the past, it was used for hunting large game. I know it's an Italian Mastiff and what is special? Oh, here we go. Okay. They are a hybrid from a Italian Molossaurus and a Neapolitan Mastiff. We're gonna get an all black one. They're beautiful dogs. I mean, they look like junkyard dogs, like just massive, massive dogs. Um, but they're not crazy. Like they're about 100 pounds. Females about 90 to 100 pounds. Males about 90 to 110 pounds. They're a good family dog. They're a good protection dog. They're trainable. They're smart, and we would just want to get it, and we want to raise a big dog. It's something that we just want. We've been like missing it, right? The issue is like our apartment complex doesn't allow that specific breed. So we're kind of like caught in limbo there. So we would have to get it as a service dog for Taylor, which is not like Lime, because like she does need a service dog. Like she does have anxiety, and like having a dog does calm her down. If we do that route, then we can stay in an apartment. But then it's kind of not fair to the dog, because the dog needs a backyard to run around in, and be a dog, be a puppy. And we're going to get it at a young age. And with a dog like that, I don't want to raise a dog like that to be afraid of people and afraid of other dogs, because when you have a big dog and they're afraid, yeah, they act the same way as like a little tiny dog. But the issue is that they look much meaner, and they're much more powerful. So like if you walk a Cane Corso and it's 4 years old and it wasn't raised the right way, it will scare the crap out of somebody, and you run the risk of possibly losing your dog because of that. And I don't want to be in this situation. So when we get this dog, it's very important, Taylor and I have talked about it, that we raise this dog the best way possible. We train it as early as possible. We discipline it the right way. We go back home to my family at least 2 or 3 times, and her family at least 2 or 3 times when it's a little puppy, and we introduce the dog to her family's dog and my family's dog, and we introduce them to my family and her family, and we introduce her to anybody who might have interaction with the dog, because we don't want to be in a situation where that our dog, a Cane Corso, 100-pound female, because we're going to get a female, because I've never had a male and I don't want to start now. I don't want to deal with a dog with a male private parts. I just don't want to deal with it, because I don't know. I just want a female. I've grown up with females. That's what I want. But I don't want to be in a situation where the dog doesn't know somebody, doesn't remember somebody, or doesn't remember a dog, or doesn't like a dog, and it turns into a real issue. Because the thing is with the Cane Corso is I think they might have the strongest bite in the dog world. I guess I can look it up. Strongest bite in the dog world. I think they have the strongest one. The Kangal Spaniel, the Congo Shepherd. Cane Corso 650 psi. Yeah, so 7 dogs with the strongest bite force in the entire world. They're kind of known for having a strong bite force. Like they have a stronger bite force than a lion, which is insane. Yeah, so German Shepherd has a bite force of 291, which is what I've always had, which is really strong. I've never been bit by them, but I've seen them bite things, and it is terrifying. American Bulldog is 305. Never had one of those. They also have a lot of hip issues. Rottweiler, which is a dog that we actually considered getting, but we didn't, and I don't really know exactly why. I think it's because she had a idea of what she really wanted. 328 psi. I'm sure you can find different. You can find different list. American Pit Bull Terrier, which is pretty much what Riley was. 330 psi. This is when it starts getting weird. This is when like the PSIs, like those were like the top 4, I think, and then the next one is like 226 psi more. Mastiff is 556, which is insane. And then you have a Cane Corso, which is the dog we're getting, 650 psi. Is a breed that's known for power and strength. This breed can take down prey much larger than itself, which we're not going to be doing. We're not going to be hunting with it, I promise. And then I think, the Turkish Kangal with a 743. It's a breed known for large size and impressive strength with a bite force 743. It's undisputed king of canine world when it comes to raw power. Typically used to protect against wolves, bears, and jackals in Turkey. due to its size and capability as an effective guardian. While all the breeds are incredibly strong, the Kangal takes the top spot as dog with the strongest bite, with a force is more than 3 times that of average dog. Take down pretty much any prey. So, but if you look up the average force of a lion, 650 psi. So basically what I'm trying to say here is the dog that we're getting has a psi that's stronger than a lion, which is nuts. But it's what we want. So we're just, there's a lot of moving parts. We're trying to figure out the best way to go about that. We don't want to put the dog in a situation where it's moving a lot. We want to keep it stable. We also want to feed it the perfect diet. Like I don't want to be like, I'm not trying to be like a conspiracy guy here, but like the diets that dogs go on are so bad. I just don't know if like there's any regulation. I don't think there's regulation in like the dog world. And if there is, it's not like a strong, like they don't allocate a lot of money to look at like Pedigree or like Perdina or any of these companies. I just don't like them. I look at dogs, I'm like, okay, well, their ancestors are wolves, but they eat dry flavored turkey food. I just kind of, sometimes in life you look at things and you're like, that doesn't add up. And that's kind of how I feel about dog food. And every time I fed dogs dog food, I didn't like it. I've always wanted to feed them a raw food diet. Like I want to feed them like raw beef, raw fish, maybe not fish because they don't really eat fish, but like raw beef, raw eggs, raw chicken, stuff like that they would eat like out in nature. Because I think that will add years to its life, and I think a lot of the issues that dogs have nowadays is because of their diet, just the same way that like why humans are so unhealthy is because of what we eat and what we put into our bodies. So that's another area I've kind of been, concerned about. And then, Taylor and I are going to Charlotte, North Carolina for her birthday. I got her a trip to go take a helicopter because she loves helicopters. And as I bought it, I was like, she probably won't like this because it's a little scary. I took the chance. I swung a miss though. She liked it, but it was overwhelming. The idea that in a month, because I got it for November 2nd, in a month you're going to be going on a helicopter in Tennessee. It was kind of scary. So I got a refund, got my money back for that. And instead of doing that, we're going to just go to Charlotte, North Carolina, just for the weekend. Like literally Saturday morning, check in at the hotel, probably go out, get a nice dinner, enjoy ourselves, enjoy the hotel. We're going to get a really nice hotel with that refund money. And then on Sunday, just walk around, have a nice cup of coffee, maybe get some breakfast in downtown Charlotte, and then just enjoy ourselves, maybe get like a massage or something like that. Who knows? And then, come back up to Roanoke on Sunday. That's just kind of like a little weekend getaway for her. We don't really do a lot of like weekend getaways in Roanoke, which is one thing that we do miss about living back in Annapolis. But I also had my parents up this weekend. It was amazing. I love having them up. They probably won't hear this, but there is a thing that happens once you live a life where you move out of your parents and you have your own. Once you have your own place, it's really hard to have people, at least for me, to like give it up again. Like the idea of having to move back in with my parents for us to like, buy a house or, whatever the situation is, which God forbid that won't have to happen. But that situation's scary. Like I love having my space. Like I love having my own bedroom. I love having my own everything. But it's so nice to have family up here, right? We live 4 hours away, right? So it's like we don't see everybody that often. I don't see anybody ever really. And it's nice to like touch base and just see what's going on, see what's happening in the world. One of my best friends is having a baby. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to put him on the spot. He's already announced it publicly, but like, part of me kind of gets sad because like I'm missing that, right? I mean, I'll be there for the baby. I'll see the baby. I'm so excited for that. Like I can't even contain it. Like the fact that one of my, my best friend in this world, who was like, he's like a brother to me, is having a child. He's bringing a human into this world. Like I can't even wrap my mind around that. I'm so proud of him. It's crazy. And just to see like where my world's going to be in like because the next 3 years, Taylor and I are going to be married, right? Like, we're, maybe even have a house by then. And it's like, we'll have big boy and big girl jobs, and she might be back at school. It's just like life keeps going, and sometimes when you live on your own in a different city away from everybody, you do get into this groove where you get caught up in your own world because you don't have a lot of things to pull you away from like work and your routine. But having my parents come up here, it does. They pull us away from everything. We go out and eat, we talk, we see what's going on in each other's lives, and it's really nice. It's really nice to have that. It's really nice to have that in your life. I think back when I lived in Maryland, I acted like that wasn't important, but it is important. It is important to have people you love close to you. And then we're going back home for Halloween, so I'll probably catch up with my brother then, go to the gym, catch up with people at the gym. So, but that's it, guys. I'm not going to keep for an hour. There's no reason to go for an hour if I don't want to just keep rambling for an hour. But hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Later this week, there will be a vlog. I got to edit that. I got to figure out how to edit it again. I haven't edited in so long. I do like time lapse and stuff like that. Like, I feel like I'm the old head in the YouTube world again. Like, I don't think people even do time lapses anymore. I think people just prank each other and like, I don't know because I don't really watch YouTube videos anymore. I just watch podcasts on YouTube sometimes. But anyways, that's that, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in episode 277 or 270, whatever. Peace out, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful week, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.